Installing a virtual switch is the next little section that I want to cover with you guys. Having a virtual machine is all good and well, but it's a standalone machine. So this computer at the moment can't connect to a network. As you can see with the little network icon down here at the bottom, it even tells you there's no networks, there's no connections. It's not connected to an actual switch. So the next little thing that we have to do before we actually start configuring the server, IP addresses, computer names, adding roles and features, is actually just connect this thing to a network. Now, like we discussed already, for us to be able to connect it to a network, of course, we have to create virtual switches. So in Hyper-V, also on the right-hand side in your action menu, there's an option for a virtual switch manager. So if we click on that little button, we have the virtual switch configuration manager, where it's actually very simple to create a virtual switch. So the first thing we need to decide is, do we want to create a private switch, an internal switch, or an external switch? You guys remember the private, only the VMs can connect. The internal, the VMs will be able to connect to the host, and the external, the VMs will be able to connect to the rest of the physical network. Now I'm going to create an external switch so that this virtual machine can actually connect to the rest of my network and to the internet and all of those things. Okay, so all we say is we select the type, in our case external. We say create virtual switch. It will then ask us to give it a name. So you can give it a meaningful name. I'm just going to call it external switch. We will have to say what network card we want this external switch to use. Because I've got two network cards in my host, I can choose between my wireless network card or my physical network card. As I am connected to Wi-Fi, I'm going to make sure that it stays on a wireless network switch. And down here at the bottom, if we want, we can enable VLAN for this network switch. I'm going to turn it off because I don't run VLANs, of course, here at home. So once we have our virtual switch, all we then say is OK. Okay, we might lose connection to you guys, so let's see if that will happen. If I say yes, applying changes. So it disconnected the virtual machine, which is fine. So we'll just say reconnect. Okay, this will now create the switch for us. And switch is created. Okay, so now how do we go about actually connecting the virtual machine to the virtual switch? So we select the virtual machine that we want to connect. We go to its settings, whichever way you want to go there. So right-click settings is always the quickest and easiest way. Once we're in here, we go to network adapter in these settings. And we then say the virtual switch we want to connect to now is external switch. We click on OK, apply. We click on OK. And if we then go back to our virtual machine, it of course have signed us out like we said. So let me just sign back in. Now you can see immediately it's picked up a network. We are now connected. This is now asking us, do we want to be able to share resources from the server? So we're going to say yes, because of course it is a server. Hey, we want to be able to share stuff. So if we say yes, you can now see we are now actually connected to a network. Okay, cool. So that's how easy it is to actually connect your computer to a virtual switch. So now this computer is on a network. Okay, so now we can somewhat jump into the next little part, which is going to be configuring the server.